AITA for not firing the cleaning lady because my GF asked me to. Throwaway account. This is a dumb argument, but I need people to weigh in.
I am 42, have a cleaning lady who comes every other week.
She's super hardworking, really nice, and I completely trust her. She comes while I'm at work and I get to come home to a clean house. The best feeling. One time she told me she drank a can of Pepsi from my fridge and even asked if she should pay me back. I told her she 100% has my permission to take a break and eat/drink whatever she needs while she's here. Since then she'll occasionally have a pop, a glass of juice, or once she said she had a piece of toast. She's never helped herself to any meals, snacks, or anything beyond that. My girlfriend F, 38, was over the other night and said she saw my cleaning lady stealing from the fridge. I told her she wasn't stealing lol, she has my permission, and she's definitely not sitting around being lazy. She was taking a break. My girlfriend said it's weird, unprofessional, and that it could lead to boundary crossing. I told her I've known this woman for 2 years and nothing like that has ever happened. GF thinks I should fire her before it gets worse. Am I wrong for thinking, why change something that's been working perfectly fine? Am I being weird? Update. Okay, wow, I had no idea a silly debate between me and my girlfriend would blow up like this. I talked to her and she said she thinks it's weird that my cleaning lady can grab something to eat or drink. She said it'd be better if she brought her own stuff. I was like, the woman goes to multiple clients a day. She can't be carrying a whole suitcase of snacks on top of the vacuum, mop, and everything else. And it's not like she's raiding my whole fridge, so who cares? My girlfriend said it just makes her uncomfortable. Then she asked why I even need a cleaning lady when I live in a 2-bedroom, and told me to just be an adult and clean your own place. She said I don't need a cleaning lady to mommy me. I was like, she's not mommying me. She's a huge help, and my place looks amazing after she leaves. Then she said when we move in or get married, the cleaning lady has to go because she doesn't like strangers in her house, and that I need to get off my arse and do my part. I told her I don't get her logic at all. She doesn't charge much, I can easily afford her, and my house looks great, so? What's the issue? She kept going on about how I'm being lazy and acting like a man baby, and that I should act like an adult. I told her I'm 42, and for my 40th birthday I hired a cleaning lady as a gift to myself because I want my free time to relax. And I'm not changing that. I honestly have no clue what your problem is. I just don't get it. She hung up. Whatever. I'm honestly too old for this crap. I'm going to bed. Thanks everyone. Final update, she texted that she can't waste her time with a lazy man who'd rather give full control of her house to a maid instead of getting off his arse to do cleaning the house himself. I told her best of luck. She told me to go F yourself. Looking forward to spend the holidays with my son this year in my very clean house. Thank you everyone. Next story. AITA for how I responded to my ex and his affair partner about her infertility. My ex-husband, 40M, cheated on me, 34F, with a coworker, 36F, otherwise known as affair partner. I found out about the affair 3 years after it started. At the time my husband and I had 3 very young children together. I kicked him out and filed for divorce. He moved in with his affair partner. They fought for full/primary custody of the children in the divorce, using the 2-parent household as an excuse. They lost. Custody is shared and parenting time is 50-50. He married her before the ink was dry on our divorce papers. Things were, and on my end still are, very hostile. She didn't like that I wished for him to do the same to her. He didn't like that I told his family I tested for STDs after learning of his affair. The only reason I told his family is they wanted to know why I couldn't be friends for the kids' sake. I told them because before affair partner there was another coworker I now suspect he also had sex with or wanted to at least, and because of those 2 things I wanted to be sure he didn't give me anything. My ex told me it was petty and gross when he had one affair only and it was only with one woman for 3 years. My ex and I use a co-parenting app for communication and I ignore calls and texts. The times this gets tricky is face-to-face. I need to keep up some kind of civility if my kids might see us together, which is more difficult than some would believe. But I love my kids more than I hate him. Our kids are all school-aged now and doing okay. They prefer my house and have a hard time being at their dad's house some weeks. I have them seeing a therapist to help them process, but I know none of this is ideal. My ex and his affair partner were warned about pressuring the kids to call her mom or mama something, which they were doing for a while, and this was backed up by the therapist. The kids don't like affair partner and I celebrate that in my head every single day. You will never hear me say I'm sad they don't feel like they have 2 moms when she's supposed to be the second mom. I find her disgusting to think she can knowingly help destroy their parents' marriage and then try to make them hers. I do not share any of these feelings with my kids. But the kids know there are issues between mom and dad. They also have some understanding that their dad cheated. This was not something I told them, but how badly he tried to explain some things to them when they asked him questions. He doesn't believe in therapy, so there was no professional backup to help him. So anyway, around Halloween my ex and the affair partner approached me at the school's Halloween event. Ex told me we needed to speak and I told them unless it was about the kids we did not. In a quieter moment they caught me alone and they told me that affair partner is infertile and cannot have biological children and they have been trying for years. They told me it would mean so much if I would let go of my hate for them and be more kind to her and encouraging to her and the kids bonding so that she doesn't feel like an outsider forever. He told me her infertility was painful and she loves our kids and I have successfully stopped them bonding with her. But as someone who always wanted to be a mom and got to be, I should be compassionate. I asked them why they were telling me their own personal, private business that was nothing to do with me. My ex went from calm and pleading to pissed in seconds. He told me that was a disgusting reaction and at the very least I could have offered her my sympathies as my fellow co-parent and our kid's third parent. I walked away because I did not want to discuss it or argue in case someone, especially our kids, hurt. He then texted me several times that night asking where I get my disgusting insensitivity from. He also tried to bring it up at a meeting the two of us had with the school over one of our children, who was not present. I'm ignoring him but he's enraged and I had to send the texts over to my attorney for documenting. I expected this to have blown over by now and clearly it hasn't. For that reason alone I wanted to check what other people thought of my response. AITA? NTA. It's almost comical. He wants you to sympathize with his wants. I know you would prefer to have the kids 100% of the time and child support from him. He only cares about sympathy when it works in his favor. OP replies, I think my kids would be better off with me but I'm realistic that he would need to majorly screw up for that to happen and I can't wish that for their sakes. I just hope he does better by them. At the very least I could have offered her my sympathies when she broke up your home and wrecked the life of those same children. Was she remorseful or sympathetic? I would have told them children are a gift from God. Then stared really hard at her. NTA. Next story. AITA for telling my roommate it's not my problem if I trigger their ed. I'm a college student living off campus with two other people, a friend of mine and his girlfriend, who I don't know very well. This is my first year living with her, but I've lived with him the past 2 years without any issue. Anyhow, I'm a gym goer and take my fitness and diet pretty seriously, so I track my macros pretty strictly, which involves sometimes weighing food, stick to the same foods usually, and refuse all junk food and alcohol. She took me aside and told me that she has an ed and that seeing me be so strict about my food makes her feel self-conscious and triggers her desire to relapse and asked me to do something different so she's more comfortable. I asked what she meant, and she said that I shouldn't weigh food in front of her in the kitchen, should be less strict with my diet, should stop refusing junk food when she and her BF go out to get some and ask me to have some, etc. I told her she doesn't really have a right to ask that of me and that while I hope she's okay, her ed isn't really my problem. She called me an a-hole for this. Her boyfriend, my friend, is refusing to take sides. AITA? I think it's pretty telling that her partner won't take sides, so isn't taking hers. NTA. OP replies. He's also into the gym so I think he gets where I'm coming from. NTA. Her issues with food are exactly that, her issues. As long as you're not making a point of bringing food-related topics up with her, I think you're fine to manage your diet the way that works for you. OP replies. Yeah, I don't really speak about gym or diet stuff with her. Next story. AITA for refusing to help my brother and Sil while they're struggling by meal prepping a few meals a week for them and their kids. I, 17M, have an older brother James, 28M, who's married to Erica and has 3 kids with another on the way. Me and James don't have a relationship. I feel like he resents me for being born or like I stole our parents from him or something because he was always a huge jerk to me. I'm talking putting stuff where I couldn't reach them when I was little, locking me in my room because he could and dropping me off at the neighbor's house when he agreed to babysit and was getting paid for it me so our parents could go out. When James met Erica she was a jerk to me too. She made fun of the walk I talk because of my stutter and she ignored me unless our parents were there. For a while my parents and James had a bad relationship because of how he, and Erica later, treated me. But they made up and became close again and stayed close even when he didn't invite me to his wedding. They ignore my birthdays, they ignore me at Christmas, they never invite me to parties they throw and it's not an age thing because kids younger than me get invited. It's all a me thing. I asked James why he hates me and he ignored me and when I tried to push him to answer he laughed in my face and told me to get away from him. James and Erica have their 3 kids, who I don't know BTW, and they've another on the way. Erica's had a rough pregnancy and my parents help keep their house clean and stuff on weekends and they have sent them money. But my parents don't really cook much. And I cook usually on Sundays and meal prep lunches for school and other stuff. I pay for the ingredients I use because I don't really like the stuff mom and dad sometimes buy, and it's sometimes because they mostly eat takeout for dinner. James started asking for food, so Erica and him didn't need to worry about that so much. My parents said I should do it since I meal prep already, and James said it would be perfect. My parents said to use the stuff they buy and meal prep for James' family, but I told them I won't put my time into making food for people who treat me like shit. My parents said they're still our family, and James was like, WTF, why are you okay with hurting my family, when our parents told him. My parents said they were very disappointed in me and this was the chance to build some bridges. AITA? AITA. It's not the victim's job to try to start building bridges. Something your parents have to know already. OP replies, they don't care about that. He could do worse and they'd still ask me to do this for them. I would have thought refusing to invite me to his wedding would have said it all, but no. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel our posts.